mate.
I saw you tapping your keyboard, and I thought you're getting into an argument on TikTok. Literally 2 seconds before we go live, you're like, "I'm going to show this."
No, that'd be mental, mate.
Yeah, and what were you doing? It said you were texting me back.
Yeah.
Because I said I'm leaving about an hour ago.
Yeah. Have we started?
Yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know what to do here. How was your week? Because mine was terrible.
What was your week, Dad?
I haven't told you. I don't know that it got back to you.
I've heard.
I crashed my car.
One of those old middle-aged white women that I see on TikTok all the time sliding down a hill.
No. Well, I was both as well. And this was the brutal thing. Basically, I was driving I've got a new job. I was driving to work. It took me down a country lane. And I turned down this lane and I was like, it's never taken me down here before. This is a weird road to go down. I turned the hill. The road in front completely flooded. And when I say completely flooded, I'm like, this isn't a puddle. There's a stream on the side of the road, and the road is now the stream. So I'm like, fuck that. I watch those TikToks all the time, and people getting stuck. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I know.
And when I saw the picture, I thought that's what you did, and I was like, what an idiot. Yeah.
So
I did not. I'll
show you another picture, or actually, I might bring it up. I can bring up the picture. But basically, as I came around the corner and saw that, I put my brakes on. There was an inch at least of black ice on a hill like this. So I put my brakes on and my car was like,
nah.
What? No, absolutely no chance. I literally was just a passenger. I luckily, as I hit the water, my tyres were rudders and I turned and I went up onto like, do you know farms have the little entrances, the banks to get into their farms?
Yeah, farm banks.
Farm banks, yeah, farm field banks. I went up onto one of those and I was like, okay, cool. And that's where I left it. And then luckily that evening, a friend's friend of a friend was like, I've got an old Land Rover, so I can just yank it out of there. So we spent about maybe an hour and a half getting that out.
The value of knowing people that drive Land Rovers, by
also,
the way.
though, I felt like an idiot because I was in his Land Rover with him driving there. And I was like, obviously it's happened because round the corner, down the hill is just ice.
Did you forget to tell him about it and then he went down?
No. Like, I told him about it and he was like, oh, no, come on, this thing can go down anything, so we'll be fine. We get around the corner and I'm like, so this is the ice? And he's like, yeah, we'll be fine. Wasn't fine. So he was then just sliding and he was like, oh no, I can see why you've lost it. I've got nothing. We were just sliding down.
That is stupid because it's like, I get you're in a 4x4, but unless you've got ice. like snow tires or something, unless you've got chains like with little daggers in them, it's ice.
You need snow. So and he was better and he kind of stopped it going in the water. Although to be fair, and then we went in the water and with his car, he can go in that water because he's so much higher. But yeah, we got it out. The car was fine as well. It looked like it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that amazed me because when I saw the picture, I was like, if he's like had to leave that car there for a few hours, as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe like it seized up and stuff in the cold.
It was in like -degree water for about 12 hours.
That is crazy.
More. Yeah. So it was a bit mental. But yeah, and then we got it out.
You were one of those cars because I always see the cars like that get abandoned, and I'm like, what the bloody hell's up in there?
Yeah.
What a moron! You're that guy.
What's funny?
Your car was abandoned.
What's funny? It happened. I'll say when you hit black ice and I lost control of the car, that shit was scary. Right, I was driving. I've had a
flashback to. Have you seen the Joe Rogan episode where the guy's talking about hitting black ice?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan thinks he's saying black guys.
Wait, what did you think I was saying? So hitting that was terrifying, and I was driving into work, and like every time I was going down a slightly small country road, I was like, if there's ice, I'm fucking leaving. But I think the good thing is we got it out, and he was like, it's a bit of a long shot, but do you want to just see what happens when you put your engine on? Just started, and he was like, oh, okay. So yeah, we got up the hill, got it home. So all good in the grand scheme of things. And looking at the banks that I went down, if I had hit one of those, I could have flipped the car so easily. I wasn't going quick. I was going maybe 25, 30 miles an hour, but that's quick to not control your car. Do you know what I mean? To just be, okay, cool. But all good. It was just a long week. But I thought it was going to be a week that was like, we were about to sell that car. I was like, have I just fucked us selling that car?
Yeah,
now?
that's just like
I've just cost us
at least like certain amount of thousands just down the drain.
Yeah, but no,
man, it's cold out there. It's cold out there. On another, like, speaking of cold, right?
Yeah.
I got like
cold.
I've got a complaint to make
to the weather.
Well, no, because I don't think it's weather. Because like there's onions. There's layers to this story. Basically, right? Got a tub of Nutella, right? And last night I can't remember the last time I had a chocolate spread sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like maybe when I was like 12. But randomly, I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna have a chocolate spread sandwich.
This is really funny and very boring, but I've got the same situation.
Right? No, but I went to the cupboard to get a chocolate spread sandwich. It's like one block.
Now
it's like cheese.
Here's my situation with that.
It's like
I had the same thing yesterday. Was this yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday in the morning.
Did we have like
no, honestly,
synchronized chocolate?
And
spread
I don't
cravings?
have a chocolate spread sandwich ever, but Max does all the time, so we have it, and we have poor man's Nutella.
Right.
We have like just a hazelnut spread, chocolate hazelnut spread. But I was like, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I'll have some of his fake Nutella for my sandwich, and I got it out and I opened it and I was just like, nope.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing: I got text by a mutual mum of ours like a week ago, and she was like, "Is your Nutella frozen?" She asked me really randomly, and I was like, "No, ours was fine." But yesterday, I think it got low enough that even mine froze up a bit. I could have spread it, but you know when you spread something hard and it just fucks the bread
here's
up.
the thing, right? I mean, I'll go get it and show you if you want, but it is like
solid.
Yeah, there's no spreading. Like you'd have to like
microwave it.
You'd have to chip it. Here's the thing though, you can't put the tub in the microwave.
You want a bit of
right?
it microwave,
and you want a bit of it microwave.
Yeah.
But then I also don't want to. I didn't like because this wasn't. It wasn't like I'm desperate for a chocolate spread sandwich. It was just like a random. I was like, I'm gonna have a chocolate spread sandwich, right? And then obviously the disappointment of not having it was there, right? Yeah. But I was also like, I could like, I don't know, chisel out some chocolate spread, put it in a bowl and microwave it. But then I was like, that's too much work for a chocolate spread sandwich, right? But then I was like, I was so curious, right? Because I was like, it's not that cold, right? There are other liquids in the kitchen. None of them are freezing, right?
It's
none of them are forming icicles or whatever, right?
Yeah, what's up with that?
So I was like, what the hell is going on with the Nutella? Right, so then I googled why is my Nutella hard,
and then it was like it's gross.
no. Well, here's the thing, right? And we've spoken about this before, right? Just the absolute failure of modern day internet, right?
Yeah.
And because the first thing, right? I was like, why is my Nutella hard? Clicked on it. It was a Reddit conversation from the year 2010.
Well, look, if they haven't changed Nutella, though, you get your answer, don't you?
No, but then it was like, there was no information online I could find about why my goddamn Nutella is hard, right? There was just people
frozen.
Yeah, but it's not frozen. It's not frozen. Nothing else is frozen.
Right, here's the thing.
It's
already
like,
very thick.
It's nowhere near 0 degrees in the kitchen. It's like maybe 5 degrees,
How about this?
6 degrees
I've got it.
At the lowest.
I've got it.
Right,
I don't know.
It's not frozen.
No, okay, it's fine. I've got it though, right? To bring science in that I don't know, but I'll guess, but I'll say it as if I know. Like water particles, they're all very far away, isn't it? That's why they're a liquid, yeah? And then solids, it's all together, right?
So they're like, it's like apes together strong.
But if you have thick, like spreads, they're liquid still, but they're closer.
Maybe.
So I think they can bind sooner. Anyway, what I like to think.
No, but it was no.
I'd love to put a bow on this.
Just getting onto it.
Getting onto it.
No.
Get off of it.
Moving on from it. Right. Is like one of like there was like a bunch of people being like, oh, this is how you solve it, and I'm like, I'm not really looking to see how to solve it. I know how to solve it, but one of the suggestions was just like it was an actual article, right, about this, right. So it's like this is a thing people are dealing with, right? Is hard Nutella, and there was one that was like, oh, just use a hot knife, and I'm like, you don't understand.
Well, people
I think
ice creams.
No,
like a hot spoon.
Yeah, but this isn't ice cream level, dude. It's like a rock. It's like my Nutella.
Maybe
your
Nutella's
rock.
turned. Have you checked the expiration?
No, it was bought like literally this year.
I can I just say, to put the bow on this, I like to think of someone coming across our YouTube channel and they're like, oh, indie music podcast, it sounds great. They had thousands of views, and then they look at the most recent episode and they're like, oh, they only have 20. Let's see what's going on here. And they click on this episode and they're like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense because it's fucking boring as hell. Roll the intro. That's our weekly condiments and bread spreads section over. That's all I got with that. Should we look at some TikToks?
Yeah.
Straight in. Well, I asked you how...
It's like no format to this these days, is there?
No, we've fallen off the rails.
It's just like there was a bit of a silence there, and then you're just like, oh, should we look at TikToks?
Well, I was going to ask you how you are, but we kind of covered that then, didn't we? And it's always irrelevant. How are you?
It's irrelevant.
Great. I've got nothing. I mean, my whole week was just crashing my car basically, and starting a new job. And I'm not going to talk about that. It was fine. Have you gone on today though? Because I sent. Yeah. I've got the one that you sent across.
But I already can't really remember.
That's fine. Well, how about this? I'll get it up right now, and you can just talk me through.
Oh no, because I was gonna.
That's how you know when you've been a band for 20 years and the bras are now cardigans. They throw cardigans on. They throw you knitted cardigans on stage. Ma'am, would you like this back? Not that we don't appreciate it.
It's funny though, isn't it? It's like
that is very funny.
But he says that's how you know you're aging as a band, right? Because they're throwing knitted cardigans, right? But I'm like, have you seen like when Tenacious D perform?
What do you mean?
They still get bras and panties thrown on stage,
and that's what I was going to say. If you ever want to see boobs on YouTube, just watch a Tenacious D festival,
man,
because it's so many tits.
Yeah, man, people love it. Like it's like Tenacious D fans don't age.
I once in my life I've played. It was at Festival on the Isle of Wight. I was playing with a band, like a rock band, quite a good band, and it was the biggest stage I've ever played on. They really hooked us up with the booking. It's the only time a woman has flashed boobs at me at a concert, right? And she was like front row, and then like my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, was like 4 people to the left of her. It was very uncomfortable. But I have to say, it was probably the most this is it moment. You know what I mean? That was the top, because I was like, someone
seeing boobs.
Yeah, I was like, someone flashed boobs at me. They didn't realise that I'm fucking nobody. And I was like, oh, really?
How old were you at that time?
Do you know what? I wasn't old enough to drink, because I remember that festival. It was the first festival.
I was just wondering if potentially this woman has committed a crime of like flashing a minor.
I think we were 17. So I think we're fine. It's that weird thing.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, it's legally fine, but
you have to get the binder out and flip through and be like, right, what was he doing? Yeah, but I remember that being like, oh, we kind of, that's like almost I've made it thing. And then it never happened again, because we never played a gig like that. So I wonder, I mean, how does it feel to have like 3,000 pairs of boobs shown every concert you do, like Tenacious D? Tenacious D. It's insane. It's the coolest thing ever.
It is cool.
Anyway, yeah, no, that is funny. The cardigans. You kind of said, but that was the one that was sent. That was it. That only one in the inbox from you. On TikTok?
I sent another one. Like that okay. One.
I did that.
I sent that Tuesday.
Live argument happening here, unless you've sent it literally after we've started doing the tech test today.
I mean, I sent one at 1:32 a.m. and then I sent one at 8:24 a.m.
That was the last one on the conversation feed.
Absolutely not.
It was when I opened it. I'm very confused now.
But it's there.
This is insane. No, look, the last I've got.
Refresh it.
What is happening? What do you mean refresh it? I've just loaded it.
Scene.
Well, I can't see it. This is insane content. But basically, throughout the week, we'll send each other videos. Well, I don't think so. I don't think we've hit that point yet. But basically, we send each other videos that we want to watch. And for some reason on TikTok, it does not exist. The videos you've sent have not come. How far back do you want me to go? Like, yeah, it's not there.
What do you mean how far back?
I don't know how that's happened, B. You're now not on mic either. So I don't know what to do with that. Let me try and
send it again.
Anyway, can I show you mine?
Yeah.
I had one. I don't know if you saw this guy. This may be a bit of a conversation about gig etiquette, but is someone at a Taylor Swift concert filming the crowd singing?
Right.
Are you with me?
Yeah, I was sending them again.
He's gone a bit viral because he's like, oh, sorry, I said it was a Taylor Swift concert and it's just not. Is that Who's-Ya? But yeah, it went a bit viral because he's like, you can tell he's like, what?
I feel bad for him, right? Because, like, he is enjoying a concert the way a concert is supposed to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
He's not filming it.
Yeah.
Right?
And no one is, really. Look at... Yeah. Oh, no, I'm wrong.
No, there's loads of... He is a diamond in the rough right there. Right?
I know.
He's there as well. He's singing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he might be a little bit self-conscious about his music taste, maybe. Right? He's like, oh, God.
That is a lot of broads in that, isn't it? That's a heavy... You know, I see some guys back there.
Yeah. And he probably didn't... He probably is like, that's okay, no one will know I'm here.
What he's thinking is he's
none
like,
of the boys will know. It'll be my own little secret. I can be myself and enjoy the concert.
It's such a shame.
And then all of a sudden he's viral. And I think you can see in his face, right? It's like he knew there and then that this was going viral.
He's like, oh,
look, play
fuck.
it again. You can see the moment where he's like,
he's
oh
like,
my.
I'm on TikTok,
he's like, oh my God, I'm on TikTok. I'm famous. Look, it's right there.
It's to look around.
Yeah.
I do feel really bad for him. I think it brings up a bigger conversation, though, of like, they're there watching an artist and everyone's singing, and I feel like it's almost that like anonymity by the masses.
Well, and this is the thing, because in all seriousness, we laugh and joke about it, right? But she's not in a public place, for starters, right? That's private property. Right?
Yeah.
So there is an element of you should not be able to you shouldn't be able to distribute other people without their consent.
It depends, because in the UK, I know that the data protection laws are that if you can identify someone in the video, so if you can see their face clear enough that you know who it is, you would need their consent to use it publicly.
Yeah.
So
there is a question about that.
I'm not getting your TikTok speed, so I don't know. I don't know what you've done. I think you've maybe
what have I done?
You've been a naughty boy on TikTok, and now it's lying to you about what your messages are doing. Because you've shown me before that TikTok doesn't like the way you treat their community.
Because they have... Yeah, because they censor the word idiot.
No, it is insane. It is genuinely crazy. But it does mean that I can't show that one. I had one more TikTok to send, though. But I don't know. For me, I was like... We've spoken in depth about filming at concerts. And for me, I'm like, fucking just stop it. It's so boring. It is horrible. No one cares. It's not going to do well on TikTok, right? And if it does, I don't care. I do not care. Just stop filming. But it's another element to go... Also, just don't film the people that are there, because they're there, and they can be emotional, they can be raw. Music is your personal thing.
They might have called in sick to work.
They might have called in sick to work. I think had called in sick to work. He stitched it later, just being like, "Yep."
I got fired.
There was one more I wanted to show you, but I didn't. I don't know how much it was just a conversation piece. I don't really think we need to watch the video. But Rolling Stone magazine have put together the worst covers, right? They've done a poll for the worst covers.
Right.
And some of the things that are on here are absolutely shocking. I'm just skipping through. There's one in particular.
8. Avril Lavigne, Imagine.
That one's fine. Yeah, that could be on the list.
Yeah.
Love Rock and Roll.
I'm like...
No, this is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
Agreed. Now, can you recognise that?
That's Alien Anthem. Get that off the list.
Smooth Criminal.
That is mental.
How do people vote that the worst cover, though? This was insane. I'm not going to lie.
What publication is this?
Well, it's Rolling Stone magazine, but it was a poll. It was a
bunch
poll.
Of... okay, it's a poll.
It was a fan reading poll.
But that is ridiculous.
I can't get no satisfaction.
I have never been so offended by such a innocuous opinion.
I know.
Like,
Who
that
says
is
that?
mental. What covers are worse? But like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the logic of that. That's a great cover. Shameful.
I'll go to the number 1 spot. I can't. That was basically my point. No, I was like, I can't believe that's in this list.
And the number 1 spot goes to Miley Cyrus, Black Dog.
I mean, this isn't bad, but it's definitely worse than bloody Alien Anthem. Well, come on.
Well, this was number 1, so
This shouldn't be number 1 though. It's not great.
it's just.
I don't rate it, but it's fine.
Here's what it is.
It's fine. It's like a out of 10 performance, like a cover. It's like a 6.
Oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think what that is as well is if you go into the industry side of it, she's the Disney pop person, and then she's wanted to break away from that. That's clearly in the stage where she was like, look, I can do rock, I can do country, and now you listen to her and she's really fucking impressive. So
Yeah, man.
But anyway, I thought it was interesting. I think maybe I've now seen a few things from Rolling Stone magazine, and they're all these garbage, like, clickbait opinions, do you know what I mean, to make people angry. So if you want to avoid that, go to IAASmusic.com and read our articles instead. Little disaster I've had, I monetized the website, which is, you know, that's just what you do. It has adverts, you know. Get an ad block if you want. Turn the ad block off if you want. But
I won't ever ask people to turn ad block off.
No, I'm not getting a pop up or anything.
That's
if they want ad free, they can have ad free. But
just the FYI, we are not ever gonna sort of try and fight against ad block.
No, Google actually, when you set it up, Google was pretty big on being like, you can put a pop up in, or you can. And I was just like, no, turned it all off. The one thing that I have broken, and I'll try and do a quick example here, is if I went onto the website, let's see if it happens first time, and then you click on something. Oh, no. Oh, damn it. That did not work. Also, oh, no. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. So there are ads. What has been happening recently? There we go. Look, that is horrendous. I'm trying to remove that. Because you should be able to just use a website. But I'm struggling so hard because Google's like, no, we can fucking jam it down their face.
I thought you were going to say something about, like, it was going to be, like, a bit of a...
just like
like, hot girls in your area.
Yeah. Or, like, just horrendously inappropriate, and I have to blur it. You're like, why are you showing me this? Like, it's 9:43 a.m.
It's like when you go on, like, gambling websites for some reason.
I don't...
It's always like some of the pop-ups you get are always a bit.
I
think they assume, oh, they're my cookies.
It's like big black women are gonna sit on your face, and you're like, what a weird ads. Why do you get this ad? And everyone's like, oh, we don't get this ad.
Well, this is crazy. Bookmark.
Yeah. But no, so there's been a load of people supporting the website. Thank you so much. If you've gone on and you have been like, this is too much with the ads, I'm working really hard on it. What I want is a banner at the bottom, a couple like click here, and it will show. It's Google. It shows you the things you've been searching. You know, that's how it works. But the whole fucking, you click on something, it's like, nope, here's I don't want any of that.
It's like paywall kind of stuff, innit? Like when you click on like the Guardian or whatever.
£2 to read
like
this,
halfway
please.
Down an article, and then it's like, money, please.
Yeah. So no, I'm working on fixing that. But so far, thank you for the support and people that have been checking out the website. We made our first penny from ads, which is pretty cool.
How are we spending it?
On ads. It's just an endless cycle. But yeah, that's been cool. We've had some cool things go on that. But I don't know if you wanted to do some music news. Shall I next week? For next week, I don't know.
Try and get these six because they are there. Because like, this is now on like the Indiana Show account. I'm looking at it and I can see that we've received them.
I don't get what's happening then.
I don't know.
Maybe it's my VPN or something.
Maybe.
Don't know what that would do, but maybe those videos aren't available in Japan.
Oh.
That's what they say. Oh.
Yeah, maybe Arctic Monkeys are banned there.
They are. No, I don't know. Anyway, music news. For next week. No, that's an over promise. But maybe I should get a little news jingle. And you're like,
Madonna.
Love her.
Come under a little bit of hot fire, right? And people, the fans, are trying to sue her.
The fans are suing Madonna.
not the fans, some fans.
A fan.
A fan.
Is it a class action?
Is no, not I know of. But there are kind of conversations of lawsuits being brought against Madonna. Basically, she was 2 hours late to a concert, right?
Okay.
And apparently it's not an unrare thing. She's late to concerts quite often, right?
Sure.
And it's kind of brought up an interesting sort of conversation, because there's one article I read that kind of was written by a bit of a sponge, I think, right?
Okay.
Because it basically it's talking about how ridiculous it is to try and sue her for being 2 hours late. And then in this article, the writer goes on about how entitled fans are and how entitled they think they are and everything. And I'm like, okay, stop the presses, right? They're not entitled. I think when you spend, right, like £60 to £100 on a ticket, right? You've probably full-time working, right? You might have saved up for that ticket, right? You then potentially have to finish work one day, right? Go straight home, get ready, go to the concert. You might have to travel, might have to get a train to travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're there, and then she doesn't come out for 2 hours, right? So it's 2 hours delay. So now you're getting out of the concert 2 hours later than you were planning to, right? But then it's like maybe you've missed the last train. Maybe there's now complications getting home.
Maybe you're kids.
Also just getting maybe you've got kids.
Probably.
Maybe you're now getting home at like 1 o'clock in the morning and you've got work the next day, right? It's a huge implication to be 2 hours late. Not for Madonna. Madonna's rich and famous, so it doesn't matter. But for the regular person, just normal person that doesn't have the entitlement of rich and fame and rich, right? That's not entitlement. That's a quite frankly a fair expectation, right, of a service that you've bought. And that's the other side of it. You've purchased a service. Like, I know it's a bit weird, right? Because you're buying a ticket to go and see someone perform art, but it's still a service. It's still scheduled at a certain time, right? To me, that is no different than booking a massage, right? And then getting to the massage parlor and they're like, "Oh, we actually can't fit you in for 2 hours."
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not paying for it then. What? Like, I booked the massage at this time. I've paid for a ticket to see Madonna at this time. I don't think that's entitlement at all. And if anything, it's just entitlement on Madonna's side. Madonna's entitled.
No. I think the issue is now as well the use of a word like entitlement. Because for me, if you were to look at what the legal contract is when you purchase something,
you are entitled.
You are entitled to see the show. You're entitled to go there. And there probably is stipulations on time like that. I think the fans are entitled. They are entitled to fucking get what they pay for. Little look up at the moment I'm in the middle of. The average price of Madonna tickets on SeatGeek is $467. On other websites, it's $200, $300. So it's a few $100s to see her, right? You can get poor people seats, right, at the back, and they'll be like $50 or whatever. But average, it's a few $100s. So it's like... that is like 10% of what your fans are making.
Yeah.
That's 10%, or 5%. Maybe some are making more, some are making less. It's a big chunk of money of their monthly amount. So when you look like, okay, oh, well, they bought a ticket and whatever, as you say, fans go for a show. At the moment, it's hard in the live music industry. It's fucking difficult. So if you have people coming out to see your show, they need to just get what they pay for, or you need to refund them. 2 hours late is fucking unacceptable as well. We're not talking... if it's 30, 45 minutes because of some tech issue, that's one thing.
Yeah.
2 hours is mental. And at 2 hours, you as a company should go, we have fucked up here. So there needs to be, okay, we will refund X amount. Because here's the thing. If they refund 50% of the cost of the ticket, they're still in profit as well. So... it's on them to sort it out.
They haven't angered people then, because then it's like, okay, cool, that's unfortunate, but here's some money back, right? Cool, no harm done. But I just thought it was ridiculous that this writer for this article is even suggesting that fans are just ridiculous for like being entitled to expect certain things from artists.
Do you remember what publication that was?
It was The Guardian.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the net. I don't want to put his name in there.
No,
that's what he looks like, though.
Well, obviously. What the hell? She's an artist, not a service industry. What a fucking idiot!
Yeah.
My god, what a Berkey little moron.
Yeah.
That's the issue, though. He's a I mean, you know, he's
Guardian shoulder, the shoulder pad,
leather, leather elbow pads.
Yeah.
Lentil eat. That's a bit of an inside joke, I think. What a moron.
But yeah, I just thought that was a bit ridiculous. Right?
We've had a video flagged for bullying Madonna before, so we need to be careful. But then, to be fair, we did bully her then.
Yeah, but we're not bullying her now. We're just criticising how
close to bullying it.
Unprofessional.
Check out the Guardian's article though, because that's horrendous. Don't read it though. Use what's it 11-foot ladder or 7-foot ladder? What's the ladder? 12-foot ladder. Google 12-foot ladder. The top link will let you read articles for free.
Allegedly, we're not suggesting people should.
Oh yeah, don't use that service.
Yeah, well, I mean,
ever.
I have to cut that out.
No, I'm saying right now, do not use 12-foot ladder, 12foot.io. Don't use that.
Pay for the Guardian.
If the Guardian site give us money, just give them all of the money.
I know. No, in fairness, the Guardian actually they don't have that paywall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got confused with other websites.
The Independent?
Yeah, I think the Independent. Yeah, for sure. I think.
Okay.
Cool. Next, right, it's kind of two stories merged together. Okay. One is the bassist for Green Day has spoken about how much he doesn't like algorithms, basically. So I'm just trying to remember what his name is, the bassist from Green Day. I can't really remember. Mike Drint. Right?
Okay. It sounds like it should mean something rude, but it doesn't.
He's basically come out and just said social media is great for kids, but if you're finding music via algorithms, that's just lazy, right? But there's kind of two ways to look at this, right? One, in a way, I'm like, I get it, because algorithms could like tend to push certain genres or certain people, certain bands for different sort of reasons. There might be financial reasons why music is getting recommended to you or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I kind of understand what he's on about. But then I'm also like, but that's kind of how algorithms work, though. They figure out what you're listening to and then suggest other artists that are similar or other bands that are similar. What do you know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of algorithms. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the problem is there, and I am going to fiddle with my mic stand a little bit because I'm having a freaking issue. That is a 51-year-old, no offense to 51-year-olds at all, but that's a 51-year-old scared by the word algorithm. Because what happens is, if you go back to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, when you went and you saw... I didn't, because I was not even a twinkle in my father's eye at that point. But what would happen there was algorithms, basically, because they would go, a record label would go, okay, we have a product, which will be, the Eagles, and then they would partner that with people that you might like, right? It's now driven by tech, but to say, oh, well, if that's how you're finding music, then blah, 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 it's like, well, no, that's just how music is found now.
Yeah.
So if you're an old man and you're scared of it, that's one thing, but you can't attack fans because of how they're finding music, because that's just how it is.
Yeah, well, and it's also, right, like, after you get, like, past a certain age...
I'm going to cut to you while I fuck with this, because this is insane. I've completely...
we might have to just pause, because it's the audio is the issue here, dude.
We'll be right back. That's a long old pause as well, sorry. We'll be right back.
And we're back?
Yeah, we're back. Sorry.
We're on?
Sorry, that's on me.
Oh, that was horrendous.
I'm really sorry, and there's some shitty audio there. So sorry, everybody.
But what I was saying was that people, like it's different when you were young, right? You had a bunch of time, right? And we talked about it before. No, you do. You have lots of time.
Yeah,
you
go
outside of
deep
school,
with
you
this,
have any
but
responsibilities. You have time,
I miss it. Yeah,
right?
I get it.
And
life is terrible now.
We've spoken about it before, but I used to spend maybe 2 or 3 hours a day after school watching the music channels, right? Mm-hmm. Discovering new music, right?
Yeah.
You get to
this
a certain...
is such a good point.
But you get to a certain age where no one's got time to search for new music. Like, no one's really got time. unless you specifically set out time in your schedule every day to go, I'm going to look for new music. But then also, there's so much music now, right, that even if you were like, okay, I'm going to spend an hour a day trying to find new music, you might not find anything you like ever. For like, you might find one new band or one new song a week that you like, because there's so much music.
I also, though, and you've just hit the nail on the head, right, that listening to VH1 or Kerrang or whatever it might be, that was finding music through YouTube and TikTok. That's just how it was. It was done by a person. A group of people would go, here are the artists that are in. We have a brand, we have a sound, so we're just going to make people listen to that. And the idea was to keep you on that channel. So it was all doing the exact same thing. The exact same thing was Kerrang wanted, right, every song. It's like a DJ. A DJ wants to keep people up and dancing and enjoying the music. They wanted every song to be something you like. That's all YouTube will do. If you're listening to one band, YouTube is like, stay on my service. Don't go anywhere else. So it's such a naive thing to come out and be like, oh, well, that's not how you find music. Unfortunately, it is. That is how you find music.
He then went on to say,
oh, Christ almighty. Do we need to...
With all the algorithms that people live on, right? For starters, what do you mean? With all the algorithms that people live on, tell me you don't know what an algorithm is without telling me you don't know what an algorithm is, right? With all the algorithms that people live on, there's so much false information, and there's people diagnosing themselves with Asperger's on TikTok. That's absurd to me.
What the fuck is happening with Mike Dirnt?
I don't know what... He starts off complaining about algorithms, right? And like how people live on them. He's then complaining about the false information that algorithms are providing through music. What are you talking about? Right. And then he just loses all sense of bloody what's going on and starts talking about Asperger's.
He's fucking mental, isn't he? That is...
I just thought that guy's lost it.
He's lost his mind.
He's lost his goddamn mind.
He looks like have you seen Flushed Away?
Yes!
He looks like Rod. Is it Roddy?
I think it's Rod. I think it's Rodney. Roddy? Rod?
Doesn't he? Doesn't he look like that? Oh, people think Matt Healy looks like him. No, Mike Dirnt looks more like Roddy. Anyway. Yeah, he's just lost his mind. And I think that quite accurately just puts him, as I said, the camp that it felt like was he is an old person, he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
And he's a bit scared of it because they are scary things.
But linked with it,
yeah,
because there are problems with algorithms, but like he doesn't know, like he's not talking about any of the actual issues with algorithms.
Yeah,
because there are issues with algorithms.
100%.
And there's a lot of talk at the moment because the EU, the European Union, right? Mm-hmm. Just because people get confused internationally with EU, what that actually means.
They think you're saying EU.
Yeah. But no, just because of that, I don't think a lot of people know that the EU is a governing body, right? Mm-hmm. But so the EU are really sort of like proactive on introducing laws and legislation at the moment around algorithms.
Yeah.
But it's all about the transparency of algorithms, because I think there is an issue there that like a lot of people don't realize or don't talk about, is that a lot of what you do get suggested isn't necessarily being suggested to you because they think that links with what you're listening to. A lot of the algorithms, like we've already spoken briefly about Amazon potentially doing it with like certain Christmas songs because it's their Christmas music.
Yeah.
Right. So there's like a financial
there's
gain.
Other things that's playing.
There's underlying sort of elements behind the algorithm that is pushing music onto you. So like they're pushing hard at the moment to introduce laws around that to sort of make the algorithm
great
like
again.
Coding transparent so that people can actually see what's going on and can actually track why stuff is being recommended, which I think is good. I think transparency in everything is good, right? Mm-hmm. So that we can sort of keep an eye on corporations, because that's what you're worried about, isn't it? It's the corporations that might potentially be pushing certain music for financial reasons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What interests me about that, though, is, and like the other side that will be argued, is that the value for a company, that algorithm that they code, like TikTok. The reason why TikTok is great, when TikTok was China is invading us and no one get it, and we were like, well, we'll never fucking have TikTok, stupid. Look at us now, right? But I remember I went on the camp sooner, right? I was like, fuck it, I'll get TikTok. I got TikTok, right? After a couple of weeks, phenomenal. But I remember that window where you were like, every time I go on TikTok, it is horrendous. It's people playing with squishies, and it's, you know, all of these weird generic things. And I kept being like, just tell it you don't want to see it, right? And teach it. And it was such a weird thing. And then this moment happened where now and it's happened a few times this week, we will send each other the same TikTok. And then we go onto our messages, and it's just all duplicates because TikTok knows we're the same person. So every time we're scrolling, it's just showing us the same things.
Yeah.
So the value there is TikTok's value is the algorithm. It's not the people on it, because those people, they come and go and they move all over the place. But that algorithm is incredibly valuable. And things like Snapchat and Instagram then try and mimic it. So I'm sure that will be fought really hard by the companies. But ultimately, we've already had data protection introduced, right? So if you're a company, you have to be like, we have your data, we're storing it, this is why we're using it. In Europe, at least, that's GDPR, that's what that is. But it is interesting to be like the AI and the algorithm side being introduced as well. It could definitely change how things work. But then the companies always fucking find some way around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's always loopholes and stuff.
The whole transparency on data collection is now nonsense, because it's just like, oh, click this button, sweet.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people have no idea the market, right, that exists with just your details. Right, just people's information, and it's like companies that people will never ever think about. And I know one of the biggest companies is the NHS.
Oh God,
the NHS sell information like hotcakes, dude. And I know this through first-hand experience, because I had I can't remember the last time I'd been to a hospital or been to the GP before I had to take you to hospital once, and I had to give my details because you were incapacitated, right? And I
wasn't drunk. That was medical.
And I got
sounds like I was fucked up.
Literally the very next day, I got bombarded, right, by 8 different insurance companies.
Yeah.
8 completely separate, different insurance companies saying, we know you've recently just got in an accident, and I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I've seen it more recently as well.
And that was 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
So people don't realize how big the market is of just selling information.
But also though, so that's pre-GDPR.
Yeah.
Post-GDPR, it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have a 2-year-old. So 2 years ago, when my missus went into hospital for labour, the same thing happened. They're like, "Have you had an accident?" It's like, "No, it was planned." For fuck's sake. So yeah, it's the exact same, and it's like, it's one of those things, and we see it with loads of other stuff that we can't talk about because we're on YouTube now. Of it's right there, but people just ignore it. But it's like, you go into the hospital, and then suddenly all of these scumbags have your information.
But the thing is, though, it's why I've kind of taken a bit of a different aspect to it, right? I don't agree with it, but my information is all out there, right?
Right.
It just exists. Every company on the planet has got all of the information about me, right? So why do I still have to click accept cookies, reject cookies, whatever, every single website I go on?
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Can't we just live in a world now where I just know that, as soon as I go on this website, I'm being tracked?
Yeah. Well, that would just be your internet service provider just being and then they can have it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just annoying, having to click accept cookies or reject cookies every single goddamn time.
It's the transparency. When you do that, it does give you an option to read what that means. No one has done.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Well, do you know? I appreciate it now, because there's a lot of websites I've noticed recently where if you go on to review cookie settings, they're all set to off anyway.
Yeah. Again, and that's the law in it, where it always shifts, because the first thing you do is you go okay, just click this button and everything's accepted. And it's like, no, that's shady as hell. We live in a weird world.
But
I'll probably need to do it with our website, to be fair.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Do we want cookies, or are we not going to accept cookies or offer cookies?
I don't know if
everyone gets a free cookie.
If you let us have your cookies, you can have ours. At IAAS.tv.
Every time someone sends a collect cookies, we just send them an email with all our preferences.
Do you think if you go on to do they have to call it something different if you go on to like Ben's Cookies?
That's an actual place. There's a company.
Yeah, that sell cookies.
Do they have cookies?
God damn it! I'm in Japan, B. I'm
you're
in Japan.
You're in Japan.
Ben's Cookies, though. I wonder if you go onto their website, do they say they accept cookies?
Yes, please.
That's why I'm here. And it just takes you to the shop. I've not been asked for cookies, but then I'm in Japan.
Yeah, so they might not. They're like, your cookies are no good.
I was going to say fortune cookies, but that's not Japan.
That's racist.
It's funny enough.
But anyway, so I was going on top of the laws around algorithm. They're introducing laws specifically to Spotify to force them to be completely transparent and open, right, and clear about any music that's made with AI.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Which that is music to my ears, because that is one thing that
Robot
I just can't.
Ears.
I'm like, I'm against AI being involved in art, basically, right? Any form of art, any sort of creative process. I don't think AI should have a place in it at all. Quite firmly and rigorously, right? Because it just completely takes away what art is, right?
Yes.
Which is an expression of human emotion.
That's why it's art.
Yeah,
it's an acronym.
Is it?
No. Except me.
I was like, I don't know.
Emotion.
But anyway.
E.
But yeah, so I'm happy that they're like stipulations, because then it's like, if it happens, whatever. But at least you will know. At least it's like, just to let you know, this generic piece of crap was made by AI.
People are going to be in a lot of trouble if that switches over and gets launched, and then just all of the fucking chart music.
I want it like one step further, because I know that the credits are there anyway on a song, right?
Yeah.
But I want it to be like, if this song wasn't written by that person, I think maybe it's just a pop-up.
Yeah.
Just let you know.
This was written by 12
Katy
men.
Perry. Katy Perry didn't write this. But yeah, so that's that. I just thought that was good.
Interesting.
It was a good bit of news.
My one thing that I'll say about that is, this is the problem though, right? So the song is AI and it goes out, and now Spotify will be like, okay, this was fully AI. But what about when it's not fully AI? What about when it's AI lyrics? What about when it's an AI drum track?
Yeah, well,
how will that go? Because Spotify won't be able to know if AI have generated the lyrics and someone sung it and recorded it in a studio and then put it up.
It's a good point, but I just think that there are now laws protecting
they're taking
it.
Steps.
There are laws protecting it now. So if you discover an artist is AI and they're not saying it's AI, then they're breaking the law.
Well, let's go one, as you say though, let's go one step further and fucking, if you haven't written the song, I love that idea. I love the idea of, there's a separate section.
Yeah.
If you're an artist that doesn't write that, or if you're an artist that does write your songs, you should go into like a little premium platform on Spotify that I can go on and be like, cool, all of these artists were written the music, and like, it may be tricky because fucking Taylor Swift, maybe her first 2 albums are on that side, but the rest is on the other.
I don't know. But anyway,
do you have more?
Yeah.
Is that it? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
This is a long news section.
A new festival application has been submitted, right, in Luton's Stockwood Park, right, which on the face of it sounds exciting. It's going to be a 3-day festival. They've got all the permits in place for like a fun fair and drinking licenses and all that sort of stuff. So you're like, oh, well, a new festival. But it is brought to you by Festival Republic Limited. I was saying people that did Leeds and Reading.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably going to be shit.
Yeah, but is the problem the location? Is the problem Reading people?
Well, I don't know, because I've heard that Leeds is the same as Reading.
Oh, really? Just a real
like in terms festival. If you don't know what we're talking about, like Reading Festival like I don't know if Reading Festival has any kind of diehard supporters and fans or whatever. And if they are,
I think so.
They're all 13 years old.
No, they're all They're all people in Reading go to Reading Festival.
It is the worst festival I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's not great.
Hands down, it is awful. It is so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I'm talking about bad, I mean, obviously I'm not talking about the actual artists or performances or whatever. It's that general atmosphere, the general like just commodities,
it's a scroty festival.
It is trashy. There's crap everywhere, but mainly literally the average age of Reading Festival must be about 15.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of like 13-year-olds that are just walking around completely unsupervised at Reading Festival is insane.
Yeah,
it's miserable.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
I've been to a couple great festivals, and what that means.
There's not a lot of queues at the beer tents, though. That's the only. that's the only upside.
But they're very high on ID.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably not. I think that the best festivals I've been to, you go in and it's about atmosphere, and what it should feel like is you're in a different world for 3 or 4 days. And there's ones that I've gone to, and it's that you walk in, you're like, this is just a different universe. Reading isn't that.
Reading Festival feels like
it's like a high
you're
street.
in hell.
It feels like you're walking down a high street on a Friday.
Oh no,
night.
yeah, Friday night, and you're not out.
You're sober.
You're not out. You're just walking through the high street,
Yeah.
but it's at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It's miserable.
But hey, good luck to them. Hopefully, it works in Luton.
But hey, I think it's good. There's a new festival coming. I think that's good for the music industry in general. More festivals are always good.
Artists can fly into Luton. Wait, is that this year? Is that the first year this year?
Well, the application has been submitted
for
the festival
to happen.
I don't know, but at early stages.
Yeah, but surely the application will be like for a festival. They can't just be like, we want to put a festival, and they'd have to be like for this date.
It didn't say.
Because that'd be interesting. Yeah, because and this is something that I should have said to you, but one of the people I've just introduced on Instagram for IAAS Music, Miri, who's writing content for us, she is going to be doing concert and festival reviews as well, which is really cool, and like content. So that one would be great, but also I think we are possibly looking at doing some Reading and Leeds Festival articles, so we may just need to be a little bit careful with what we're saying. But maybe this year it'll be better, and she can write about how improved it is. Ka-ding.
Anywho, I wanted to talk about the ticket scam that's happened. I don't know. Did we briefly mention this at some point? There's a big ticket scam situation that's happened. So basically, 2 people essentially, right, using a sort of kind of company, TQ Tickets Limited, right? But basically, these 2 people made multiple identities, like made hundreds of different email accounts and signed up in like using 127 different names, and essentially they bought 47,000 tickets, right, for various different shows, like across the last year. And so it's just 2 people, and then they sold those tickets to like the ticketing websites, right. So like, you know, what is it, like Viagogo and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they made £6.5 million, right, in these tickets.
Yeah.
They are now sort of facing criminal charges, right, for the offences, for like exploiting or like profiteering, I think it is what they're getting done for, right? Now, these guys are scum, right? I'm not defending that. They're scum, right? But are they not just doing what the ticket companies do? I mean, they're literally just doing what like Viagogo and Ticketmaster do. Ticketmaster employ thousands of people to just sit there on release and buy tickets.
Yeah.
And then sell them. So I'm conflicted because these guys are scum. There's no doubt about that. But they shouldn't be facing any criminal charges.
No.
Unless you're now saying that Ticketmaster and Viagogo are breaking the law. Like what? I don't understand.
Yeah, I was really interested because I was like, okay, so what's profiteering? for it.
So
not
profiteering
to,
is...
as in my point is, I know profiteering is like exploiting something in a market to make an unreasonable profit, right? But it's like, okay, it's like, as you say, how is that not what is just happening?
Yeah, that's just how the industry of
I'm pretty sure the resale industry. So, and I've said this before on this podcast, it's a fucking joke. The resale is a $16 to $17 billion a year. So $16.5 billion every year is made on tickets that already exist and have been sold. It's like, so they've done the same thing. This is, do you know what this is? They are Everton. They are Everton Football Club, and fucking Ticketmaster is Man City. And Ticketmaster are like, yeah, they profiteered. How dare they? While they're fucking in the background have literally factories in Asia just fucking buying millions of tickets.
Yeah, no, but I think to sort of like, because in fairness, I think the charges they're getting done for is fraud.
Okay.
Which, I guess that's the charge, right? Because they're using fake names and they're making up email addresses and stuff to buy tickets. But then I don't know if that is fraud. Is that technically fraud?
Because I would say now...
Is that fraudulent?
I'll say right now, when a company...
Do you have to put your real name to buy a ticket?
This is what I'm saying, though. When a company is like, to place this order, but to buy food from us, you need to put your email address in, right, and your name. I'm always like, Bert Gumby... right, from nonsense email, and they're like, okay, cool, we'll bring you your food.
Yeah.
Am I being fraudulent when I do that? Because I'm not. It's not a contract. It's not a legally binding
That's
thing.
That's what I mean. I don't think it is fraud.
My username on PlayStation isn't my name. Is it fraud?
It's not Mr. Snoodle165.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want people adding me.
What I like about that is people are going to search for Mr. Snoodle165.
Yeah.
Might be real.
Yeah, he's like, wow.
Probably is a real username somewhere.
Luckily, our viewer count is low enough that it will be unnoticeable.
Yeah.
We'd be like, one person added me.
But yeah, I just thought it was mental because I like, and again, those guys are scum. They're scum, lower the bottom of the barrel, lowest of the low scum. Right?
Yeah.
Absolute trash human beings. But I stand by them.
Yeah.
I defend them. Because
I don't.
Well, no, in the sense that if they're guilty, then so is Ticketmaster.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
is fucking all of these ticket websites.
What my question is, how are Ticketmaster making that much money from their resale without doing the same as them? Like, are you telling me that they have, because they buy and sell millions of tickets a year?
Yeah.
They don't have millions of people working for them, so clearly they're doing the same. But something needs to happen. Those companies need to be taken down. What needs to happen is when artists go, my ticket for my concert is $90. It's fucking $90. Do you know what I mean? That's what needs to happen.
It is against the law to resell this ticket at more than face value.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
And they need to find a way of just voiding the tickets as well as soon as it's resold. Because then because the issue is, it's like, okay, cool. So the artist sells it. And you can do whatever you want, but if people are still buying the tickets, they're still buying the ticket. There needs to be a different system. So. And
it's like one of those things, because it's like, I agree that, it's a free market, and I kind of fight for free markets because I think a free market is only a good thing, right? But then there are certain circumstances, like we saw it during the Big C, right? And when Bog Roll was sold out.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's going mad for Bog Roll, toilet paper, all gone. Mm-hmm. Right? So then it was like people started flogging toilet roll on eBay, right? For like 20 quid a roll. But more than that, they were then like driving around the country to buy toilet roll just to sell on eBay. So that's an example. It's the same sort of thing where I'm like, that's when the government needs to step in and be like,
yeah,
there's an emergency temporary, and I hate sort of temporary sort of political power, political restrictions or whatever. Yeah. But there are certain times where I'm like, no, the government should be stepping in here and stopping people selling toilet roll on the black market.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Right, because they're creating the problem as well. They're creating the shortage of toilet paper by rushing out and buying all the toilet paper.
Yeah.
And it's the same as tickets. Something has to be done to stop it, but these guys aren't the enemy there. They're just, well, no, they are the enemy, but
the system is broken.
They're not on their own.
They went in to play the system.
Yeah, they were just independently doing what the corporations are doing, and then getting all of the blame for it. And then my final bit of news. It's just a little Lizzo update. She is working on new music, right? Okay. So it's just to expect a bullshit article at some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah, she's gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Should we put bets on what it is?
Oh, so last time she was in the news was for mistreatment of her staff.
Yeah.
Right? Of which I actually defended her.
Some of it.
Mm-hmm. Right? All I'm saying is that if my boss took me to a strip club, I'm not really into strip clubs, but I'd be like, no, this is fine.
If my boss was Lizzo, I don't know.
I'm going to go, I don't know.
She identifies as a man. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe, what if she's like lost a ton of weight?
She comes back, she's skinny. And then she gets lots of hate.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens now when people better themselves.
Yeah. Well, because it would... No, if with Lizzo...
It's expected because she was the beauty standard.
Yeah, where she was like, I am the most beautiful thing ever. I'd be like, are you ugly now then? What's happened? Yeah. Or is the song going to be like, fuck you? And it'll be... Do you know what I mean? Really angsty.
No, she can't do that because that's what Thingy's just done. Oh my god, what's her name?
Oh wait, I might have seen this.
What's her name? God damn it.
Duffy.
Ariana Grande?
Maybe. Olivia Rodrigo?
There's an artist that's got a song just called like Fuck You or something.
CeeLo Green? He definitely has.
Oh, I can't remember who it is now, but yeah.
Have we got more?
No, that's it.
Thank God, because I think it ended just when it needed to, because that was long. I just looked and I was like, oh, we've got ages to go left, and I forgot that this is a split video now, so we haven't.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I mean, look, that was a good news section, though. I'll get you a jingle. I think you're doing the work. You deserve a jingle. I'll get you a little news jingle. I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to get it from a fucking royalty-free...
AI.
And then we have to disclose.
After our rant about using AI.
I've actually, can I say, when you made me a bit nervous because you were talking about being really against AI in art, but 2 of our thumbnails have used AI. Did you know that? Only for like backgrounds.
Yeah, but like only to suggest the title of the thumbnail.
And this, obviously a couple of our scripts for the episodes have been written for the
That's why they're so bad.
Yeah. We've had to switch to actual writers now because of a little dip in views. No, 2 of them were. The award show was... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm about to... Oh, quickly! Okay, there we go. 2 of them were, and I can tell you, if I go on to here, this always gets a bit funky. This one, right, I had a picture of... is it Luke Combs? Mm-hmm. Right? Did you see where it fades? And then it has this bit on the left, right? These logos are AI generated. If you zoom in, you can kind of tell that actually doesn't say words. And also behind this Spotify, for some reason, I expanded the background using AI, and it added another Luke Combs, but one that looks horrific behind that. So I had to put the Spotify logo there. So we did that. And then also, when we did our award show, which, Jesus, how long ago was that? Oh, wait, no, that was on Canva. Not Rumble. Canva. Rumble. But when we did our award show, that was AI, the background on that. Again, now that I point it out as well, if I were to show you that, you would realise it says nonsense.
I do want to say the caveat to that, though, is it's like, that's not art.
I definitely agree. Nothing we do is art.
I mean, a thumbnail's not art, is it?
All of this, look. It's just the people.
That is funny. Have you seen the trend on TikTok of people generating photos using AI?
I think so.
Where it's like they give AI a photo and ask AI to expand.
Yeah.
Right, and then they just keep doing it. They like expand this and then expand this and expand this. There are some really, really good ones, but it just also shows how terrible AI is.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Absolutely god awful.
100%. I mean, I probably could show an example because I use Canva, the website, to do all of our thumbnails and posts and things like that. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. Great bit, but they've introduced AI now as well, and it's fucking hilarious. Like if I if we grab a bit of you and I can show it on the screen, can I just heard something go wrong there. So if I share my screen, and this doesn't have any sensitive stuff on it, does it? Here's hoping. Oh my god. Oh, that was my fault, to be fair. Sorry about all the noise everyone just heard. Whose camera did we lose? It's mine. Yeah, your head's moving. But yeah, it's literally at the click of a button. You can be like, expand. And then it will just create. But I don't know what this would do. Hopefully it'll finish that guitar, you would hope. That's a gimme right there, isn't it? But this... Okay, well, this actually does take longer than I was about to say as well. But like this, some of it is smart. I don't know. I don't want to overcommit here because what is about to happen?
I don't think it's quite worked, B.
What do you mean? Look at him.
That is insane.
Oh,
it's gone.
What's happened? Did I over zoom? I broke it. That is so funny though. I mean,
put it back up on the screen. That I look like a sim character.
Well, it's not you, is it? It's just a guy it's added.
It hasn't even changed, but I love how it's like it's kind of rejumbled the letters of the Rangers jersey.
Yeah. It finished the guitar great.
It did finish the guitar.
And the background, it works really well. You wouldn't even know that wasn't a human. Look at his face. For audio listeners, I've just on Canva, I've just done the expand. And it's horrific. The one thing I did mess up though is that when you do that, it actually it gives you it gives you multiple options. So when you expand it, it will be like you'll have 4 and you can pick from them. So sometimes some of them are better than others, but it's just it's crazy. I think the problem is it's getting too easy now. Every bit of software, Canva and Photoshop and all of this has it. On the blog for our podcast website, it has the functionality to write an entire article using AI now. And it's just like, what do you want it to be? What style do you want? And here's the thing, I think I said before, I've done it to see, and I'm like, oh, you couldn't publish this because it's too
there's something you can
bland?
but you can also just tell that like a human hasn't written it.
Oh, it loves the jersey.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
What's that, like an amalgam? Why is that?
That's both of us.
The guitar's in there somehow.
Oh, I'm not even showing these. Right, let me go back. Let me go back.
Is that like an amalgamation between me and you?
I think so. Didn't know. That one is insane. This one is phenomenal. He looks amazing. I would have him on the podcast for sure.
I look like Val Kilmer.
What has happened here?
Go back, I look like Val Kilmer.
But like
the Iceman, dude, look. Like a Val Kilmer with like Downs.
It's Down syndrome, isn't it? He has Down syndrome and a gammy hand. And then I don't know what is.
Is that a pigeon?
I think it's been like, oh, maybe they don't want a person.
Someone just put a massive pigeon.
Anyway, there's a little. It's fun, isn't it? It's good fun. It's good. I could do that all day. To be fair, that would just be fun to sit. But there's a few times I've used it. It always goes a bit funky. It can't do hands. It really hates doing hands. Anyway, should we listen to music?
Yeah, might as well.
We are a music podcast in a way. We're going to Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Some of you may know they're from The Office, US. That's where they're based.
Never watched I watched the first season.
I'd recommend it. It's very good. You have to get through it though.
But that's the thing, because I wouldn't recommend the first season.
No, you have to get through it.
I'm like, just watch the British Office.
They hit a point. They hit a point where they're like, oh, well, it's when they start writing for themselves. It's perfect. But when they're trying to imitate, and a lot of American people wouldn't have watched the UK Office, and if they do now, so they'll be like, oh, it'll feel like a GCSE drama version. Do you know what I mean?
It's like. Well, because that's why I didn't like it, because it was the same as, I don't know if you ever saw the US pilot for In-Betweeners.
Yeah, horrific.
Oh my god.
What's almost worse is that it's not even that, because it is the same.
Yeah,
they're not even trying to make
it.
As
well, though, it's word for word the same, right? Which doesn't work because The In-Betweeners is very British.
Yeah.
Right, and this isn't like a snob. a snobbery sort of British comedy Americans won't get it thing. I mean literally just the language.
And culture.
The language and culture is just British, like you're not going to understand it. But then they also don't even like have the similar sort of characters. So like isn't like Will like some jock fat kid or something? Know. It's so weird. They don't even follow the same format.
Anyway, so we're going to Scranton for Billy McGuire. Any genre guess? Any sound guess?
Billy McGuire.
Billy McGuire.
That is a phenomenal name.
I wonder, is it their real name or is it?
I don't know.
Name?
It's just good. It's a good name. I like it.
I think it's a person. I think it's just a Billy McGuire.
Billy McGuire.
Yeah.
From Sacramento.
Nope. From Scranton, Pennsylvania.
That was weird. It was
Pennsylvania, near Philly and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I know where
Pittsburgh,
Pennsylvania
actually, I think.
It's like near New York.
Saying Scranton, though. It's in the...
I'm going to go... What was it? Billy McFarden?
Fuck's sake. Billy McGuire.
Billy McGuire.
From Scranton.
Billy McGuire. It just sounds country. I can't get country out of my head.
Let's go country, baby. It does sound a bit country. He's asked for 51 seconds through, but I think he's specified a 30 seconds, and we'll listen to a bit longer, but I'll go from 51. Nobody asked. Here we go. I'll stop it there.
I liked it. I'm confused.
So going on to Spotify, that also has another artist, I think called Moira. So it was featuring Moira, which was the vocals.
Yeah.
So
It's
Billy
great.
McGuire, I imagine, has done all the instrumentals. It says guitarist and songwriter, so I wonder if Billy can clarify if maybe he's writing songs and he gets someone else in to sing them. His voice was kind of cool as well, though. I think fucking...
It worked well. Because
do you think it worked well as a backing voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like... It's kind of hard to talk about because you don't want to like say that someone's a bad singer because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I think there's some people that they just have a good backing voice.
Oh, sure.
Do you know what I mean? It lends itself to being a backing vocal, and you still have to be able to sing to be a backing vocal. But it also worked really well with her.
It's a tonality thing, isn't it?
Her dynamic as well. It was a good dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah, I like the sound. There's a really cool sound.
Yeah, man.
Wonder if they're...
It's pretty clean.
I wonder if they're into hockey and also what team. But let's go Flyers.
Hockey, dude.
Let's go Flyers.
Isn't it like the least watched sport in America?
No. Lacrosse.
Okay, out of the big four.
Women's sports. I actually think it climbed recently, but I might be wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I don't know what it beat. But I'm pretty sure it climbed up a little bit.
Badminton.
No, I'm pretty sure, I think American football... Oh, no, it must be fourth, right? Because it's not beating American football at the moment. I can't see it beating basketball. But it's still... anyway.
Did you see... Was it the Super Bowl just recently?
Yes.
Did you,
No, it wasn't.
What? I can't...
No,
I don't know what it was.
It was the wildcard playoffs. And I think you're going to be on about Kansas City Chiefs.
Completely snowed in.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Just completely... There's people being like... I saw one TikTok and it was like, imagine paying $15 for a can of Bud Light, right? And then 10 minutes later it looks like this. And it's just completely it's like foamed over frozen.
It's insane. They played in, I think it was like minus 37 degrees Fahrenheit, Like,
what is that in an actual temperature?
In real.
What's that in big boy temperature?
What am I doing? I think it's Buffalo.
I get confused.
Bills,
What's that going to be like? -10 or something?
I think or like it might have been like -15 here, and then like -37 Fahrenheit, something like that. Fucking cold, right? Basically cold. One of the I think a quarterback took a hit in a play in the Kansas City Chiefs game. Mahomes, I think Mahomes. But I don't watch American football, but he took a hit and his fucking helmet just chunked. Like it broke a piece of his helmet off, which like
what, like it was like frozen in like what was it?
Yeah. Like it's been dipped in like
dry
nitro
ice or what is it?
called?
Nitro.
Glycerin. No,
it's
that's
not nitro.
bomb.
I know. It's like TNT or like
what
dynamite.
What is that called?
I don't know. I've had a brain
the
fart.
Frozen nitrogen.
There's not frozen nitrogen.
Look,
Nitrous oxide?
nitrous oxide.
I don't think it is.
I think it is.
No, I don't think it is.
Look, it just shattered.
That is crazy.
Yeah, he's
and I know that must be rough because I've played football at a very, very low level, right?
Soccer.
I was
is what he's saying. Yeah,
you know, I always say national. I don't mean national. I mean county level football when I was 15.
Yeah,
right. And I've played football in cold weather, right? But I'm talking about like absolute lowest, maybe -1, right?
Yeah.
And getting hit with the ball, right? You block a shot or something.
Isn't it?
Mike, it sucks.
So
it
bad.
sucks. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah.
Getting smashed when it's like -15.
They're getting tackled and hitting the ground, and the ground is just completely solid.
Yeah, grass. Yeah, you might as well be playing on concrete at that level as well.
There was also a one of the coaches has a big mustache, and
was it frozen?
Completely frozen. How do you spell mustache?
I don't know.
I'm so happy I'm not sharing my screen for that.
In my head, it's MUSTHASH, but I know that's not right.
Look, it's just completely frozen. Which I was watching the New Heights podcast, which is the two American footballers, the one that's dating Taylor Swift,
right?
And their brother is a center for the Eagles, for Philadelphia Eagles, and they were talking about it, and they were like, "How is there enough moisture for it to freeze like that?" But I'm like, "It's because." No, it's because his nose is dripping. This is all frozen bogies.
No, it's condensation as well, though, because you're breathing.
No, look at that. That is not condensation. That is an actual booger that's frozen on the way down.
Yeah, but the rest of it isn't. Look at it. The whole thing's
I'd be
frozen.
running as well. But anyway, yeah, so they played in mental. But the Buffalo game was interesting.
Can you imagine if he didn't have a moustache? He just had
a
frozen icicle at your nose.
When you pick your nose, you have to snap it off. That's insane.
Did you see that TikTok I sent you?
No. Oh God, what is it though? Because I'm not gonna be able to show it, am I?
Oh, I don't know because I won't be able to send it to you. I sent you a TikTok and it kind of matches with what.
Oh yeah, you did.
The guy that sneezes.
I didn't.
He's like, oh, it's so cold out here. Oh, it's freezing. And he goes, no, he spits. He goes, and then froze.
Like, honest to God, you sent that to me, and you're crying now with laughter.
I thought it was great.
You sent it to me, and I watched it, and I was like, that's not that funny.
I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, there we go. Anyway. Thanks for the submission, Billy McGuire. It sounds really cool. I'd love to just know a bit more about, are you just writing the songs, getting people to sing them? I'm assuming so, because if he was also singing his own songs, I feel like that's what he would submit, unless he just feels more proud of the work he's doing featuring other people.
Yeah.
Cool. The next one is El Gordo Triste.
El Gordo
Triste, or El Gordo Triste. El Gordo Triste.
Where from?
Torres, Brazil. Cool. Brazilian. Is that the first Brazilian? I think it might be the second.
No, we've had Brazilians.
Yep, so they've submitted. Any guesses to sound?
It's so hard to judge when you have like international sort of requests, because it's easy to sort of go to the sort of like stereotypical music. from Brazil.
Yeah.
But the amount of times we've had music from like India or something, and it's just like it's heavy rock.
I also
and it's like it's so hard to judge.
I think the last time we had a Brazilian, it was just like a guy producing like indie music or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I will guess that it'll be acoustic. I don't know why.
Acoustic.
I think it'll be like a singer-songwriter.
I'm gonna throw a dart in the board and go EDM.
He can't be 16. Here we go. El Gordo Triste. We're on Spotify, so it's gonna take ages.
Luz de ontem brilhava, brilhava. A luz de ontem queimava os olhos. A luz de ontem era santo no céu.
I'm going to do something I sometimes do. I'm just going to nudge it a little bit. I'm assuming it's just going to be vocals and ukulele. Okay, everything's going so slowly.
I wish you hadn't done that before what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Because what I was going to say is I loved it to start off with. Right? Because one of my main concerns when it first started, because we have had submissions similar to that before, where it's really sort of simple, refined, reduced, laid back, right? And it sounds great. But then
and then nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And I was a bit worried. And then I heard the backing vocal came in and then it built on those harmonies, and I was like, okay, this is good, and it kept getting better and better, and then even to the point where one of his harmonies, it almost kind of echoed and sounded, not echoed, but it sounded like a violin or a cello in the background, kind of slowly, and then I was like, this needs like a cello or something, or a violin or some obscure sort of long wavy flowy instrument in the background,
some drone note.
You just gone over it and it's like it's all there,
but then that's
like
great as well.
No, that's what I mean though.
I thought you said you hated that I nudged it. You wanted to say that first,
because now
it went exactly where I wanted,
because now it sounds like I'm just saying
no, but
I think it could have done with a violin coming in.
I nudged it for the same reason as you say. Sometimes we get a guitar and the vocals and it sounds great, but it's a demo track, and this didn't. This sounded like you could be listening to, we've had some. There's great artists I listen to that have come on here, and it's because of how they layer their music. This sounds like it can be on that sort of album, and this could be a dynamic low, right? And that I mean that not negatively, but you have lows and highs. You have your high energy. This could be the low. It sounded brilliant. I just wanted to nudge it and go, is there something else though? And there was. You go in and there is more. Throughout our listen, there was a point where it then went back down and there were less vocals. It's very, very well constructed. I think when I reached out, when we got low on submissions, I reached out to a few kind of forums and places, and one of the people said, I sing in Portuguese. I assume this is them. And they were like, is that okay? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I did say in my comment, all it means is we're not judging lyrics because we fucking can't.
Do you know what? I think is a really good compliment is I didn't even realise it was being sung in Portuguese. And what I mean by that is because I was focusing so much to the different layers and the harmonies and stuff that I was just like, this just sounds good.
Yeah.
I didn't even click that it was being sung in Portuguese. But I think that's the kind of beauty of music when it's like that and done well. But what I was going to say is even before you nudged it forward and we saw that there were instruments and other elements added, I was going to say it's a really good example of how to do dynamic range and dynamic variance without having anything
100%.
without having instruments added. That's what we're talking about, because we have submissions before where it's just the guitar and just vocals, and it's really flat and it's like so plain. But you don't have to have a bunch of stuff going on to have dynamic variants.
100% agree. Again, this is what we freaking talk about all the time. And you can do it, even the layers. If you take away the layers, you could write a song that is just you singing and playing guitar, and you can have dynamic range. Because what you can do is you can pluck the guitar, you can strum it hard, but you can do the same with your voice as well. You can sing in falsetto, you can sing from your chest, you can sing loud. So, and this is a perfect way of, you didn't need a big drum kit, you didn't need a fucking orchestra.
Orchestra?
That's how they say it in Portuguese.
It's just an orchestra, mate.
You didn't need that. Instead, they just used a real... they made a soundscape with their voice. I loved it. I thought it was so cool. Really, really great submission. Again, and as you say, I don't listen to almost any foreign language music. I do rate... Like, I appreciate lyrics a lot. But
like the last time I listened to foreign language music, I think was Last Ketchup.
No, for me, I mean, like, there's certain songs though. Like once a week, I sing the Champs-Élysées, the French song.
Or what's the?
And that's because it's a brilliant song. And
what's the Japanese like? Japanese. I don't know, Korean?
No, they're Eastern European.
I can't remember, dude.
I think
it's been so long since I saw the video. I just can't even place it. All I remember is it's on a plane.
Is it? I don't. Oh, Jesus, how am I going to find this Ozone?
It does feel
song.
very Japanese, so don't it?
It's not those. Dragosteen. I think they're like. I'm about to find it. I haven't found it.
Hello.
It doesn't say where they're from, but it's Moldovan. They're from Moldova.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant song.
Banger, though, isn't it?
Isn't this funny? Look, so Ozone, Dragosteen.
You never ever have.
I'm showing you. It's a. I don't. It doesn't need to be on the screen. Okay. I'm saying on their YouTube, you go on, and then even in this little description bit, it says Last Ketchup. So that's how linked to those two songs are. It's like, if you like this,
it's the same time period, isn't it? It's like
same vibe.
You go back to the mid-noughties.
Why for 6 months were we like, I don't want to understand the song.
I don't know.
I just want some vaguely European people that are doing the dance. Great songs though. That's right up there. Oh, maybe
that and Cheeky Boys.
How about this? I'll in the next few weeks I'll do an article of the top songs I don't understand. And it'll be cheeky girls, kind of. I don't know, because they were singing in English. I don't understand it.
Chico Time.
What is? No, even that's in English as well.
Yeah, but you don't understand it though.
That's true. Well, if we're doing that, if we're going that level, there's a lot of music I don't know. Every single Lana Del Rey song will be on there just from I don't understand.
I was doing my research for this list, and I read a list that some trash article, like whatever, wrote in, and it was like the top 10 most unique voices, right? Lana Del Rey was on there.
Here's the thing, though.
Unique, though.
Here's the thing. Lana Del Rey, Ariana Grande, Paloma Faith.
They all sound the same.
They all used to have unique voices. And then they were like, oh, yeah, and now I can just do this generic sound. And they just ruined their voice and fucking got it all auto-tuned.
Like, in fairness, I did then go straight to a YouTube video and watched a live performance of Lana Del Rey. And to be fair, it was quite unique.
That's good stuff. Fine. I think I'm happy with that. Thank you for submission all the way from Brazil. We absolutely love hearing from around the world, and it's a really interesting sound. What I'm going to do is I'll delete your submission to be on, so you can submit again. Just fucking submit again. If you have stuff, I'd be really interested to hear if you have things that are quite different from that as well. If that is a dynamic low, I would love to hear a dynamic high. No, I love it. No, I do love it. I just want to hear, the rest. Do you know what I mean? But I really enjoyed that. I am someone who, if I were to list my favourite albums, a lot of them would be acoustic singer-songwriter, people that do fall on the lower dynamic end of the spectrum. Ben Howard, Damien Rice, early Ingrid Michaelson. They're all people that, have acoustic instruments. They build it up and layer it very well. But amazing. I think, and it's only 2 bands we've listened to, but we went into a lot of depth with them. I think that's probably a good place to end it. I need a wee. Let's go poo and wee.
Together.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
You can go between the legs.
Yeah. Do you know when you go to say something and your brain's like, keep that inside?
I don't have it.
I did then, though. And then we just said so much, but imagine what couldn't come out. Anyway, thank you for checking us out. I'm wearing the IAAS t-shirt. That's available somewhere. IndianaShow.com. We have loads of reviews that are about to come out.
I'm wearing a t-shirt that just says Guinness.
Where's that available? VisitIreland.com. But yeah, check out IAASmusic.com as well for your music reviews. I will sort the adverts out shortly. I don't know if that will be picked up. And if it is, I'm going to boost it. See you next week. Ciao.